Hello, baseball, tabletop baseball, and sports fans. This is TriFan giving the final update for the month of April and May 1st for my 2016 Minnesota Twins Stratomatic Advanced Replay. In this recap, the Twins faced the Cleveland Indians for 3 games and the Detroit Tigers for 3 games. And we'll start with the first game, game 20, which was Danny Salazar against Tommy Malone. And the Twins try to get out the box first, draw first blood. Single by Eduardo Nunez, a walk to Dozier, and then a one-out walk to Miguel Sano loads the bases. But Byung-Ho Park hits a ground ball smash right at Napoli. He throws the second for one out and throws the Salazar covering first for the 3-6-1 double play and no run score. In the top half of the second, Carlos Santana and Yan Gomes single to put runners on first and third. And then Marlon Byrd, who would later be suspended in 2016 for PED usage, doubles home Santana to put runners on second and third. Doubles home Santana 1-0, but runners on second and third. And Juan Uribe with a sac fly to deep center field puts the Indians up 2-0. And then Jose Ramirez goes yard, and the Indians are up 4-0, and that's the end of the bottom half of the second. They came right back into the third. They weren't letting up this game. Francisco Lindor walk, Napoli doubles, and the third base coach waves Lindor home, and he is safe. And the Indians go up 5-0. Yan Gomes put the nail in the Tommy Malone coffin, if you would say. Not saying he was dead, but ended his night. 2-run homer makes it 7-0. Malone would only go 2 1/3. And then the final Indian scoring comes in the top half of the fourth with Michael Tonkin pitching. A solo home run makes it 8-0. The Twins would add 2 runs. Oswaldo Arcia in the bottom half of the fourth hits a solo home run to make it 8-1. And then the seventh inning, Joe Mauer gets an RBI on a sac fly to make it 8-2, which is your final. Danny Salazar with a very Danny Salazar-like performance. If you're an Indians fan, 6 innings, 1 run, 6 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Never had really good control. The Twins bullpen, give them a little bit of credit. They only gave up 1 run in 6 2/3 innings. And then our next game is Cody Anderson against Ricky Nolasco. And this time the Twins do score in the bottom half of the first. Brian Dozier with a 1-out double. Joe Mauer with an RBI single makes it 1-0. And then 2 batters later, Oswaldo Arcia doubles home Mauer to make it 2-0. In the top half of the third, Lonnie Chisenhall and Juan Uribe were both plunked. No benches were cleared. No warnings were given. They move up 1 base on a Carlos Santana ground out, and then Jason Kipnis doubles home both runners to tie the game at 2. The bottom half of the third, Dozier with a leadoff single, and then Mauer follows with a home run to make it 4-2 Twins. They would add to the lead in the bottom half of the fifth. Miguel Sano with a leadoff double. 2 batters later with 2 outs, Eduardo Escobar with a double, scoring Sano, make it 5-2. The Indians would cut into the lead right in the next half inning, in the top of the sixth. Michael Brantley with a 1-out double, and he scores on a Mike Napoli single, making it 5-3. And then the bottom half of the sixth with Trevor Bauer pitching. Yes, he started the year in 2016 in the bullpen. Eddie Rosario with a leadoff single, and then Juan Uribe with 2 consecutive errors. And then Joe Mauer with a sac fly makes it 6-3. They brought in Jepson to try to close in the ninth. He got the first batter out, and then Jose Ramirez pinch hitting for Uribe hits the ball real far and cuts the lead to 6-4. Tyler Naquin would follow with a single. Santana flies out to make it 2 outs. Miguel Sano error puts runners on first and second. Lindor would walk to load the bases, and then Michael Brantley with a 2-out, 2-run double ties the game at 6, and we go to extra innings. The Indians had a glorious chance in the top of the 10th. They loaded the bases off Trevor May, but Carlos Santana was not smooth. He hit into a 4-6-3 double play. I know, bad pun for 90s people. We went one more inning in the bottom half of the 11th. The Indians brought in Ross Detweiler, Eduardo Escobar with a single, deep fly ball to center field. Escobar timed it just right and beat the throw into second base. They intentionally walked Eddie Rosario to try to set up a double play, but Danny Santana hits one right back up the middle. Walk-off single, 7-6 is your final. Ryan O'Rourke pitched the last inning for the win. Detweiler gets the loss. Nolasco didn't pitch a bad game. 6 2/3 innings, 3 runs on 6 hits, struck out 4. The offensive star for the Indians, Tyler Naquin, goes 4 for 5 on the day in the loss. And then the next game, game 22, Josh Tomlin versus the recently called up Jose Barrios. And then the Indians would draw first blood at top of the second. Michael Brantley, a leadoff triple. And then Jose Ramirez, a 2-out single, makes it 1-0 Indians. The Twins would go in the bottom half of the third start a rally with 2 outs. Danny Santana and Brian Dozier single, and then Joe Mauer continuing his great power surge. A 3-run homer makes it 3-1 Twins. However, in the top of the 5th, the wheels would fall off for the Twins. Barrios walked the first 5 batters consecutively in the inning. That would make it 3-3. Then Napoli with the bases clearing double makes it 6-3, and that's it for Barrios. Michael Tonkin would enter. He got Yan Gomes to strike out for the first out of the inning. And then Jose Ramirez with an RBI single made it 7-3. And then after Marlon Byrd walked, Tyler Naquin with an RBI double made it 8-3. Carlos Santana made it 10-3 with a 2-run double. And then Francisco Lindor topped off the inning. A 2-run homer made it 12-3. In that inning alone, 11 runs on 5 hits and 7 walks. Wow. All right, the Indians did not stop scoring there. Jason Kipnis with a 2-run double that scored Tyler Naquin and Carlos Santana. Naquin had walked and Santana had singled. That made it 14-3. Twins added on a couple of pity runs, I guess we'll say. Went out double by Oswaldo Arcia. He scores on a single by Eddie Rosario. And then Kurt Suzuki had been plunked. He scores on a Jose Ramirez error to make it 14-5. In the top of the 9th, things got so far out of hand, they're like, all right, we're going to bring in a position player to pitch the 9th. So they brought in Eduardo Escobar to pitch. I gave up a leadoff single to Santana. However, he got Kipnis to ground into a double play. Okay. He walked to Lindor. Gave up a single to Michael Brantley. And then he got Mike Napoli to strike out. So Mike Napoli will probably have to go face the noise in kangaroo court. And he might get a little bit of a fine. The Twins added a run in the bottom of the 9th, make it 14-6. Tomlin got the win going 5 2/3, giving up 3 runs on 10 hits. Barrios went 4 innings, 7 hits, and 7 walks. Wow. Okay, so now the Indians leave town and the Detroit Tigers come into town. It's Michael Fulmer versus Phil Hughes in game 23. In the top half of this first inning, a 2-out solo home run by Miggy, can't you see? Miguel Cabrera makes it 1-0. In the bottom half of the first, The Twins tried to rally two out, two out walks and a single load the bases, but Oswaldo Arcia strikes out to end the inning, and the Twins do not score. It would remain 1-0 until the sixth inning when one out home run by, once again, Miguel Cabrera, his second of the day, and then Victor Martinez would single, and then that would be it for Phil Hughes. 2 runs on 6 hits over 5 1/3 innings. However, the Tigers would not score, and it'd be 2-0 after 6. The Tigers would have another run in the top half of the 7th. Back-to-back singles by Anthony Gose and Ian Kinsler puts runners on first and third. And then J.D. Martinez does what he needed to do, hit a deep enough fly ball to score Gose, and that makes it 3-0. Miguel Sano hits a 2-out home run in the bottom half of the 8th to break up the shutout. That's Sano's 8th home run of the year, made it 3-0. K-Rod, Francisco Rodriguez, comes in, pitches a scoreless 9th for the save. Michael Fulmer pitched an outstanding game, gave up a run on 6 hits over 8 innings, striking out 9. So that's the end of that game. The next game was Jordan Zimmerman versus Tyler Duffy. The Tigers would draw first blood. The J.D. Martinez with a 1-out solo home run made it 1-0 Tigers. The Twins would come right back. Dozier with a 1-out single. He stole second. He tried to score on a Mauer single, but he got thrown out at the plate. Mauer would go to third on a Sano single and score on a Byung-Ho Park single. Later in the inning, Eduardo Escobar smacks a double, and he scores Sano and Park to make it 3-1 Twins. The bottom of the third would end the scoring in this game. Leadoff single by Joe Mauer. 2 batters later, Byung-Ho Park with his 2nd home run of the year and 3rd RBI of the day makes it 5-1. And then Eduardo Nunez doubles with 2 outs, and Eddie Rosario follows with a single to make it 6-1, and that's all. Jordan Zimmerman would get the loss. He gives up 6 runs over 5 1/3, giving up 11 hits. Duffy went 6 1/3, giving up a run on 7 hits and struck out 6. All right, and then the final game of the series, Mike Pelfrey versus Ricky Nolasco. In the bottom half of the second, Miguel Sano with a leadoff single, and then Byung-Ho Park again for the 2nd straight day. A 2-run homer makes it 2-0. Then Kurt Suzuki and Eddie Rosario would single, put runners on first and second, and then Danny Santana with a single makes it 3-0. The Tigers would add a run in the bottom half of the third on a Jared Saltalamacchia solo home run to make it 3-1. They played the long ball again. This time it's Nicholas Castellanos. A solo home run with 2 outs makes it 3-2. The Twins would get their final run of the day. Oswaldo Arcia and Kurt Suzuki double, scoring Arcia to make it 4-2. The Tigers would get 1 run closer, 1-out double by Jose Iglesias, and then Ian Kinsler with a RBI single. However, the Tigers would get no closer. The final is 4-3. Both pitchers did not pitch terrible at all. Pelfrey gave up 4 runs in 7 innings, giving up 8 hits and striking out 7. Nolasco gave up 3 runs on 9 hits over 8. Jepson pitched the scoreless 9th for the save. And the Twins' record after 25 games is 13-12. So still right in about that 500 mark. We shall see if the record goes south or whether they stayed around the 500 mark or maybe a little higher. All right, everybody. This next updates will be for the month of May. And whatever games you are playing, may your dice be lively and your rolls be good.